Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to demonstrate the use of the offset from the EGI, and this is to allow you to convert a Bullseye call from whatever source it may be into a valid SPI. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tune in to our AWACS. He's just coming on station. Now we're going to talk to him. AWACS request picture. AWACS 1 request picture.
Wizard in field 1-1 request picture. Enfield 1-1 Wizard clean.
Okay, there's nothing happening there, so I'm going to set up our offset page so we're ready when the coordinate is called in. The first thing we do here is we choose the CDU from the right MFCD. This can be done from the EGI and I'll show that a little bit later. We then select the function button and choose the offset option, and this brings us up the offset page. It's currently at steer point 1 by default. So we're going to change the initial position, which is a default position, to Bullseye, and we do this by clicking the function button and the selector rocker in the minus position once, and we can see the bullseyes come up. So now we're ready to receive the heading and distance information from the call. I'm also going to change our steer point rotary to mission once again to allow us to very quickly bring up our newly entered waypoint. And finally, it's a personal preference, but I'm just going to clean up the TAD so I can see what's happening, and I do this by just changing some of the settings that I want. Once again, it's not something that you need to do. And I'm going to zoom out so I can see our bullseye position. That's okay. So we're pretty much ready to go. I can dim down our HUD a little bit while we're waiting and just stow our eyeless needles. Got to change direction a little bit. Okay, so that's the call. It's 106 for 18 miles. So it's a bearing of 106 from Bullseye. So we're going to go down to the RUSC again. And we're going to type in 106. And 18 always goes in as a 3-digit. So if it's 18 miles, it goes in prefixed with a 0. So it's 018. And we can see it's 106018. That's correct. And now we're going to enter that by clicking on the OSB 8, which is the heading and distance option here on the offset page. And that's updated, and now we're finally going to make that a waypoint by clicking on OSB 9. Okay, sorry, by clicking on OSB 9, and you can see it's waypoint 3. So once we've done that, we're going to go back, make the HUD our center of interest, and we're going to cycle through to steer point 3, waypoint 3. So now we should have our information up, and we do, on our TAD, and I'm going to make that center of interest, and I'm going to hook that. Okay. So we're going to rotate so we can have a look. And we're pretty much ready now to start doing our fence checks. Okay, so that's the position there. Going to slow down so we're not going to approach the target area too quickly. It gives time to set up. So on DMS, going to change to our Mavericks, and I'm going to bring up our Maverick screen, and I'm going to change the slew rate for Mavericks to 2 and switch on our TGP. Going to slave our TGP to the location that we've just been given, and we can see it there. And remember, it's not going to be that accurate, but I do know that it's going to be close to that position, but the vehicles are on a road, which helps us for the sake of this demonstration. So I'm going to start looking for the road. Make that sensor of interest. Okay, we can see the road there, and we're going back. Yeah, that's pretty close actually, that's pretty accurate. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to lock one of these vehicles up, which is good. So we should be ready to line up on target here. Going to switch over to MAV. Slave the MAV in. Okay, we might be a little bit too far out. 8.8 miles. So we need to just come in a little bit more in order to launch. Yeah, it's hard to see with the resolution. Yeah, we'll come in a little bit more. Just offset to the right a little bit. Speed has gone up. Okay, that's good. First vehicle. Second vehicle. Third vehicle, and let's break off. Okay, that looks like three good hits. The last thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn away and we're going to use AWACS to call vector to home plate, and we're going to put that in as a SPI. So switch off the TV, back to CDU page, and AWACS 1 vector to home plate. Okay, so the home plate is 145 for 40, and just going to use the EGI to put this in. So I'm going to engage our autopilot. Okay, let's come down here. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring up the offset page. Okay, so it's 145. Enter the details on the panel. 145, and it's 40, so it's 0, 4, 0. So 145 for 40, it looks good. And we enter it in using the MH and distance key. So 145 for 40 miles looks good, and we're now going to update the waypoint number 4 as this coordinate. So now we're back into the HUD, and I'm going to change to SPI and change that to waypoint number 4, and hopefully we should have it on our TAD, and we do indeed. I'm going to now change that to my SPI, and we should now have a bearing for our home plate. And if we look out there in the distance, we should see it's actually set to Senaki, so it looks, from this distance anyway, it looks correct. So that's pretty much how to use the offset to convert bullseyes into usable steer point and navigation points on your TAD. Thank you for watching.